Welcome back to the channel. Hit the like and subscribe button, and thank you for watching. Here we have the AirPods 3. This is going to be an unboxing and take a look and see how good they are. So let's go ahead and unbox these. That's easy. Pull that tab, pull this tab, and they come out. And here we have the AirPods 3. And what else do we get in the box? Looks like we get a USB-C to Lightning charging cable, which before it was a little different. Let's take this off. There we go. So they look familiar. Here we have the 3 compared to the AirPods Pro, and these do have MagSafe charging, but very similar. Now what happens when you take them out? Ooh, they're a little bit harder to take out, but again, look very familiar. The stem is a little bit shorter than the AirPods Pro. The AirPods Pro have a sensor right there. These do not. This has a bigger opening here. This one is wider. And the sensor is actually placed on top. You have your back microphone and speaker. And then you have your silicone tips and no silicone tips. But you do one of these, and now you have yourself AirPod 3s. Very similar design, fits in the ear, very similar. The stem is a little bit, not stem, the top is a little bit longer, but overall very similar design. So when you put it in your ear, some people have used these in this format and they actually stick way better. I've even used them in this format because sometimes I like them like this a little bit better. The only thing that you have to be careful is because of how this is done, it can get a little bit dirty or overall stained a little bit compared to these, since they're pushed in just like the previous ones. But again, very similar. We'll have to compare the audio and just see how they are, but so far I like them. I do like them better than the previous generation because they are a little bit shorter, and because of this is a little bit thicker, it should be placed in your ear a little bit better. But again, we'll test it out and see how that goes. So I'm going to pair them up and test them out and then continue the video with more information. Alright, so now that I've tried them out, would I recommend these? The answer is yes. There's a big difference. Even if you take out the silicone on the Pros and you put them in your ear, there is a difference in sound. Definitely makes a big difference. Maybe because these are a little bit bigger with a bigger driver in the front, but there is a big difference in sound compared to when you have the silicone on. Now let's just talk about what are the differences. So the AirPods Pro, you do have active noise cancellation, and you also have transparency mode. That's not been enabled on the 3s. Now you do have spatial audio with dynamic head tracking, so that is a plus. Both the Pro and the 3 have sweat and water resistance, so you can definitely take them, get sweat on them. Even if they get a little bit wet, they should be good. They all use H1 chips, support the Hey Siri feature. The battery life on the Pros, now this can be because of active noise cancellation. You're looking about 4.5 hours. You're looking about 6 hours on the new AirPod 3s and 5 hours on the previous one. Now when it comes to you can have up to 30 hours of listening time with the charging case. That's 24 hours from before. Automatic switching, personalized engraving if you want to get it from them, and it's MagSafe charging. The new AirPod Pros also have the MagSafe charging case if you buy it now. The previous ones did not. So you do also have adaptive EQ, custom high excursion Apple driver. Both of them are custom high excursion Apple drivers from the AirPod Pros and the AirPod 3. Like I said, the spatial audio with dynamic head tracking. Now the AirPod Pros does have the vent system for pressure equalization. That is due to the active noise cancellation. So they do have that set up on these, but not on the 3s. So you do also have the skin detect sensor. The previous models had the dual optical sensors, so this one uses a skin detect sensor. Not sure how much of a difference that will make, but we'll have to test, kind of go through there. Dual beamforming microphones, inward facing microphones, so that is for both the AirPods Pro and AirPods 3. The original ones did not have that. And it does have the pressure sensitive buttons, so when you use that, unlike the tap, you have way more options, being it 1 press, 2 press, 3 press, long press, and this Hey Siri feature. So the weight is on par with the AirPods Pro. There are also not that much of a weight difference. It's actually 0.15 ounces compared to the 0.19 ounces. We can get that technical, but I think that's too much information. Overall, what you guys need to know is I do recommend these. These actually might be more comfortable than the AirPod Pros. And part of it is the AirPods Pro, since you have the silicone tip sitting in your ear, they do cause fatigue. These do not. That's why I love the original AirPods so much. But after having to replace it, I went with the AirPods Pro just to try out the active noise cancellation. And the transparency mode, which I do like, especially if you're taking flights or if you're in a busy area. But these don't do too bad of a job. They do sound really good playing music. The bass is good, the sound is good. Very similar to these when you have the silicone tip on. If you take the silicone tip off on these, like I said, you can listen to it, but the sound quality will not be the same. It definitely changes. But the design, very similar. Now when it comes to the case, the one thing that I noticed taking them in and out of the case is in the beginning gets a little bit hard, especially the first time taking them out of the case, but it gets easier after that. You still have your light, and you have your reset button on the back. Like I said, very similar. I wish they had different color cases, because these cases do get worn. As you can see, this is about 2 years old and definitely has a lot of wear on it. And this was even replaced, I would say, less than a year ago, but just in and out of the pocket, shows scratches and wear. And then you can see it just does develop dirt around that area from pocket lint and so on, which you would have to clean regularly. Now let's check and see if there's any difference in the connections on the bottom. Again, they use very similar connectors. So nope, that's same as well. This one actually has 2 prongs, as you can see right there, and this one does as well. Just the orientation is a little bit different, since this case is bigger just to accommodate the silicone tips, and this one does not have to accommodate those silicone tips. So as you can see how it sits. But there's also some speculation that we might be getting a second version of the AirPods Pro, and the design might alter a little bit. I would like to see options where we don't necessarily have to use the silicone tips. Like I said, it does cause ear fatigue over time, and these do not. I can wear the AirPods Pro for a certain amount of time before my ears do get tired, but with these I can wear them all day and they just sit in the ear. Also, when it comes to exercise, with the AirPods Pro, being that they're silicone tips, when they are sitting deep in the ear and you're moving around, they tend to have a little bit of a movement, and sometimes they pop out. These do not. These sit in there very comfortably, and I can wear them for a very long time. They won't come out during exercise. Everybody's ear is different, so it's something that you do have to try yourself, but I would highly recommend them. So now if you have AirPods Pro, do you need to buy AirPods 3? It depends. Depends on what you need it for. If you found some discomfort in the AirPods Pro, especially with prolonged wearing, then yes, go ahead and switch them up. You still get good sound. You do lose the transparency mode, and you do lose the active noise cancellation. But if you don't care about those two things, then the AirPods 3 are a great buy, especially if you wear it for a long period of time. These are my go-to headphones right now, but seems like these might actually take over, just because, like I said, wearing it for a certain amount of time, 2-3 hours, with these you will start noticing some fatigue. With these, I don't. And being that they have a little bit of extra battery life and the case does cover more charges, that might be benefit as well. Again, it's something that you have to decide yourself. Try them on. If you don't like them, you can always return them. So what's the worst that can happen? Try them out. My recommendation is, yes, it's a buy. They're definitely a big upgrade from the original AirPods, and we'll see how they compare once the AirPods Pro 2 come out. But my recommendation is, yes, they're a good buy. Stay tuned for more. We're going to have more content. Hit the like and subscribe button, and thank you for watching.